What's up, guys? Welcome back. It is Thursday, June 6th. We got a pick for you in the NBA. It is a player prop, and I'm going to be diving into the numbers a little bit, why we like it, and why you should play it yourself. So first off, the play is Al Horford over 13.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Since I sent it out, it's moved to about 14.5 on most spots. 13.5 is at minus 125 still on MGM. Last time I checked, FanDuel had it at 13.5 at about minus 130. So both of those are fine. Official number is minus 125, but some leeway there. I would play it up to minus 130 or 14.5 for a half unit. Let's get into the numbers here a little bit. So this is obviously how Al Horford, he has clipped this number, this points, rebounds, and assists number, and the majority of games he's played recently. I think in 8 of his last 9, he has clipped his points, rebounds, and assists, primarily because the matchups for him have been very, very good. Not very center-heavy teams or defensively center-heavy teams. Jared Allen was hurt for this series for the most part, and he was going up against Miles Turner and power forwards that were slower and more offensive guys. So he was able to hit this number, no problem. I mean, he was dropping 23 points, 16 points, so it wasn't even a concern for him. So I was curious why this line is set so low at 13.5. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe he's a little banged up, whatever the case may be. So we got into the numbers a little bit. And this is his recent prop lines for his points, rebounds, and assists. As you can see, almost all of these lines have been much, much higher, primarily because of the minutes he was playing against these guys, or the projected minutes that he had against these guys. And he clipped this number in 12 of the last 15. The only time his line has been similar was against the Miami Heat, who was a defensive-oriented center team with Bam Adebayo, and his line was 13.5, 14.5, and he was able to clip it here. And then against the Knicks, another defensive center team, he was not. So he's going up against the Boston Celtics. These are his projections in terms of minutes, points, rebounds, assists. His minutes are on a significant decrease. This is just because of the matchup based. So he's going to see more, or he's going to see less minutes. So his numbers are going to, or his projected numbers are going to decrease. This is because guys like Peyton Pritchard are going to be a better matchup against a guard-heavy team like the Celtics, especially a guard-heavy team that can play defense like the Celtics. So I expect Peyton Pritchard to see more minutes here and Al Horford's to decrease. But this number is still just too low at 13.5. As you can see here, Al Horford's a spot-up power forward shooter. Guys do guard him outside the three-point line. He takes a bunch of threes a game, depending on the minutes he has, but he is a three-point shooter. As you can see here, Boston is 14th. They're middle of the road, and an NBA opponent three-pointers made per game at 12.7. And Al Horford here is shooting, sorry for the ad, Al Horford here is shooting 6.8, field goals per game, and 4 of those are three-pointers. So his three-point percentage isn't elite, but he's shooting 4 a game. That accounts for, a majority of the power forward focus in terms of three-point output. And he's converting them, 41% of the time, which is fair enough to get over that 13.5 statistic. Obviously, the main factor there is the points. That's the one that we're looking at to exploit. 8.6 points per game in 2024. It is his lowest, but he's getting up there in age. And then we take a look at the NBA player stats, true shooting percentage. So Al Horford's actually 14th out of all NBA players in true shooting percentage. These guys are mostly going to be centers and power forwards who are getting to the rack, getting fouled, don't take a lot of jump shots or threes. Al Horford does take a lot of threes, and he's still 14th in the entire NBA. Daniel Gafford, literally a dunk and layup guy. He's number 1. I expect these guys to be matched up sometimes throughout this game. Daniel Gafford, not really known for his defense. He has been playing exceptional defense recently, but he is too slow. And he's over physical against a guy that can shoot it like Al Horford. And then these are the defensive stats for teams against a center. So these green numbers mean, they're top in the league, they excel. But all the way down here, is the Boston Celtics. They're giving up 13.2 rebounds to centers slash power forwards. Steal block percentage and fantasy points percentage. So DFS fantasy score basically means all stats combined. That's similar with PRA. That's why I like it here. The Celtics are one of the worst in the NBA in terms of this number. So I expect, even though Al Horford's minutes are going to be decreased in this game, his output will stay the same, if not increase, just based on the team he's matching up against and just based on the players he's matching up against. I expect the Celtics to go guard heavy. That's where they've had the most success. But when Al Horford's on the court, I think he's going to have several advantages to have open looks from three, especially, with Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, those guys mixed into the lineups, who will draw more attention to the three-point line when they shoot it themselves. It'll leave guys like Al Horford available to even play the paint game, but take threes where he's comfortable. And Al Horford outlengths a lot of the guys on the Mavericks. So this assist ratio might go up for him as well, even though he's not a heavy assist guy. We might be able to snag one or two. And then, his rebound percentage, especially if he's on the three-point line, and there's a lot of threes being shot on the Boston Celtics side of the ball. That means longer rebounds. I think Al, can rack up a few here. And I think we hit this 13.5 number with relative ease, barring he has a decent shooting night. I think the value's there at 13.5. I think it's just too low. So we are going to be playing Al Horford over 13.5 points, rebounds, and assists at -125. Best luck as always. See you in the next one.